It was a quiet evening in a small town, just before the rains began. A young man named Arjun sat on a broken bench beside an empty bus stop, staring at the ground, his eyes heavy with disappointment. He had just lost everything: his job, his savings, and the relationship he thought would last forever. Life felt unfair. He whispered to himself, "Why me? What did I do wrong?" The world around him moved on. Cars passed, people laughed, children played. But for him, everything had stopped. It felt like the universe had turned its back on him. Arjun went home to his small rented room. Bare walls, one old fan, and a single photograph of his parents. He looked at it and said softly, "You always told me time heals everything, but time is doing nothing." He lay awake through the night, thinking of how everything had fallen apart. The girl he loved had left him for someone else. His boss had fired him after years of loyalty. Even his friends stopped calling. The silence of that room became louder than words. He stopped eating, stopped smiling, stopped believing. One morning, when Arjun went for a walk by the riverbank, he saw an old man sitting there, throwing small stones into the water, watching the ripples fade. Arjun sat beside him quietly. The old man looked at him and said, "You look like someone who's waiting for life to apologize." Arjun gave a bitter smile. "Shouldn't it? I lost everything." The old man chuckled softly. "Then you've lost only things that can be lost." Arjun frowned. "What do you mean?" The man looked toward the sunrise and said slowly, "When the storm comes, trees lose their leaves. But not because life is unfair, it's because the tree needs space to grow new ones." Arjun was silent. The man continued, "You think time is doing nothing, but time is quietly repairing what you can't see. Don't curse the waiting. Healing takes time." For the first time in weeks, Arjun felt something. Not happiness, but hope. He started walking again. He took small jobs, fixing computers, teaching kids after school. It wasn't much, but it kept him moving. Every evening, he would return to that riverbank, sit quietly, and watch the ripples fade, remembering the old man's words. One day, he brought food for a stray dog. Another day, he helped an old woman carry her groceries. He realized something powerful. Even when life feels empty, kindness fills the cracks. Months passed. The rain stopped. Flowers bloomed again. Arjun didn't notice at first, but life had slowly begun to change. He smiled more. He worried less. He had rebuilt small pieces of himself, one day at a time. Then one morning, while checking his phone, he got an email from a company he had applied to long ago. They wanted to interview him. At first, he thought it was a mistake. But he went. He got the job. It wasn't a miracle. It was the result of not giving up while life seemed unfair. A year later, Arjun returned to that same riverbank. Only this time, he wasn't broken. He carried a small notebook and wrote down something he wanted to remember forever. Time didn't fix everything. It fixed me. He looked up, hoping to see that old man again. But there was no one, only the sound of the river and the wind through the trees. He smiled and whispered, "You were right, old man. Time did heal me, just not the way I expected." When life feels unfair, remember this. It's not punishing you, it's preparing you. What's breaking you now is shaping you for something greater. Time may not erase your pain, but it will teach you how to live again. So don't lose faith in the wait, because even the darkest nights end with sunrise. Time doesn't heal you by changing what happened. It heals you by changing you. Path of Wisdom.